How many of you work remotely or freelance? How many of you do this from someplace other than your home? Before my 9-to-5 gig, I freelanced. I freelanced through high school. I freelanced in college, both in grad and undergrad. And I even freelanced a little bit full-time afterwards. I loved the flexibility it gave me. I could make my own schedule, work when I wanted, how I wanted, and most importantly, I could work in my pajamas. And now that I'm in an office routine, I still miss that flexibility, and that's why I still freelance. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that there are thousands of people out there working at home, either freelance or remotely, and they're working by themselves. And that's when I learned about co-working spaces. Co-working spaces take people who would normally work by themselves and bring them together, and they put them in a shared office setting, a shared office space. As a group, that represents 30% of the American workforce and 40% by the year 2020, freelancers are finding this a great way to work. Beyond that, there is a growing social movement for employees to find more flexibility, better work-life balance, more remote places to work. And they're also looking for cities that can properly utilize shared spaces. And there's a beauty to be able to work like that. We no longer need to live in the cities in which our companies are located. My clients don't need to know where I am, they just need to know that I'm accessible. And I love that. Further, I don't necessarily need to work the normal 9-to-5 hours that we've come to know and love, right? It might not even be practical. If we look at Automatic, a worldwide distributed company, and the driving force behind WordPress and WordPress.com, which powers 20% of the web, they are a company located in San Francisco, California. But they have employees all over the world, everywhere from New York to Australia and everything in between. Whose 9-to-5 would they work? Beyond that, co-working spaces, flexible work environments, remote working, these things can help prevent the dreaded brain drain that areas like Scranton face. Brain drain is when highly skilled, highly intelligent people emigrate from one area to another. And they could do this for a whole host of reasons. Maybe they're looking for better job opportunities. Maybe they want to start a business and they're looking for a more accommodating space. Maybe they want to see more people. As an area that has 7 colleges within a half hour of each other, Scranton and the surrounding area is highly susceptible to this. I want to tell you a story. My friend Dave went to the University of Scranton for 6 years. He got his master's in software engineering. He got a job right out of college working for a company in Wilkes-Barre doing Android development. And he was able to teach at the university. And then he left. He got a job waiting for him in New York City. He was able to attend a ton of meetups. And he was able to meet a bunch of people. And he works at a company in an office. And he gets to interact with a bunch of people. And that's one thing that working remotely and freelancing, that's one thing that I miss, that I would miss in an office setting, right? When I'm freelancing, I might not leave my apartment for several days. And things can get really lonely, and I miss that, and I hate that. I know that I have a water cooler in my apartment, but there's no conversation happening around it. I mean, I talk to myself a lot. So I might leave anyway. I might follow Dave's path to go to a city with more job opportunities, more social interactions, more networking opportunities, and more people. Dave has told me about all sorts of meetups that he's attended, and not just professional meetups like Android, where he can hone his skills as a developer, or WordPress, where he can learn a new skill. He's told me about all sorts of social meetups for designers, hikers, writers, and sports fanatics, and philosophers. and anything you want. And he's just meeting a bunch of new people. And it's an amazing experience for him. And he gets to talk to all these people. He hangs out with people at work. He hangs out with people on his free time. But what about those remote workers? Are we destined to be siloed off for the rest of our workdays? We don't have to be. I think co-working spaces give people like me, and possibly 30% of you, the best of both worlds. When I was doing research for this, I took the top 10 fastest growing cities according to Forbes, and I looked at if they had co-working spaces. I wasn't surprised to see they all had more than one. So how can cities help, or how can cities use co-working spaces to revitalize a city? Well, co-working spaces allow people to have a flexible work-life balance, either because they have a remote job where they can make their own hours, or because they freelance, or because they're self-employed, but they can still meet people. It shows that cities are embracing technology that allows us to do things like that. Video chatting programs or project management systems that allow us to work wherever we are, but still interact with our employees online. And it shows that they're very forward-thinking. Co-working spaces give cities creativity and confidence, and those things form a great community. And if cities want to keep young people in the area and continue to grow, that's what they need. You might not know this, but the city of Scranton, as I'm a company man, I'm sorry. The city of Scranton has a co-working space. It's on Linden Street, it's next to Mulligan's, and they're open every day, and they have all sorts of events. They have regular co-working events, they have the coding sessions like the one you see here, they have educational events, podcasts are recorded there, and people are coming together and they're interacting, right? And it's not just for tech people either. Lawyers, environmentalists, writers, musicians, educators, they're all coming together and they're talking to each other and they're interacting and they're being social, right? It doesn't look like we're being social here, but we take breaks, we stop, collaborate, and listen, right? And that is what helps a city grow. I love co-working, and I can tell you with the utmost confidence that one of the reasons I'm still in Scranton is because of co-working. Because I can go to a place, even if I get a remote job, or I start freelancing full-time again, but I can still interact with people and network, and we can become creative professionals. And I fully believe that co-working spaces are the thing that are ushering in a new generation of workers, people who are looking for that flexible work-life balance, people who are looking to learn from others and work with others and build amazing new things. And I love that it's happening here in Scranton. So I only have one question for you guys. Are you ready to co-work? Thank you.